Mike gets out the car.
Yeah. Y'all pull up to Calabasas.
Pull up to Calabasas. It's me, Mike Conley, and Brandon Wills. So Brandon is Mike Conley's stylist.
Okay.
It's us three. And as we're pulling up, Sci-Hi, the Prince, pulls up. So he's with his publicist or something.
Okay, yeah.
So he gets out the car. I get out the truck because I'm like, let me just see what happens.
Yeah.
So I get out the truck. I'm talking to Sci-Hi the Prince. And mind you, I'm a Sci-Hi the Prince fan. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I'm meeting Sci-Hi just so, we shake up. We're really like lingering at this point. We're waiting for him to come out. So as we get out of the car, that's when Sci-Hi pulls up. We all start walking to the building, to the front. Mm-hmm. The door opens, it's Kanye.
I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.
Everything about you.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate. We back again with another session of Wealthy Thoughts. Yes, sir. I'm with my co-host, my friend, and yours. What's up, bro?
What's poppin', brother?
Can you find your mic? Can you help the people?
Wow.
They can't hear you. No, keep it going. No.
Let's try it again. Hey, what's up, guys?
We having such a good time today, man. That we just been reminiscing, talking about amazing stories, amazing things that we've been through. And if you caught our Friends episode, if not, we'll put a link to it. Let's see here. And go check that out. But Steve, there was one time when I was upset, and I didn't really express I was upset. I talked about this on the podcast, but it was when you moved to the City of Angels, Los
to
Angeles.
Live and die in LA, that's the way to be.
Yeah. So
They not like us.
Literally steaming on the inside, but all I could say on the outside was, congratulations, brother. Do your thing. I'm so proud of you. Mad as a junkyard. Dang, I want to go.
Why was everybody so mad when I moved? It's crazy.
Because we was all hanging out every weekend at Steve's house. It was 47 people in a 2-bedroom apartment.
At an orphanage. That's what it was.
He had an orphanage.
Get out of here. Let me get out of this orphanage house.
Yeah, I respected it. People was in your house more than you. Like, yeah, I'm at Steve's. All right, bet. I'm on the way. Where's Steve at?
Hey, he ain't here.
He ain't here. All right, cool. No matter.
That's hilarious. No, but that's funny because, man, moving to LA, bro, it was like I was just on a mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like coming out of college, 2008, no job because we're in a recession.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the odds of this happening?
Yeah, it was terrible.
You know what I mean? Like, what are the odds of this happening? What are the odds of me not being able to find a gig? You know what I mean? And then when I did find a gig, super grateful for it because this is what kind of like just catapulted me into, I'm pretty much done with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because you was sick of working, like.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even that I was sick of working. It was not doing what I was passionate for.
You saw yourself getting settled into this. Like, this is good money.
For sure. And you know what did it for me? So when I was working at St. Vincent's Women's Hospital, that was the only job I can get. Shout out to Miss Thelma Scott. She put me on.
Miss Thelma.
Thelma, she went to my church and she was like, yeah, I got a job for you.
Y'all better go to church. You never know what God can do for you. All right, go ahead.
And so she put me on. She was like, I got a patient access job. You know what I mean? I was the only guy working in the women's hospital.
Wow.
Checking pregnant women in. And it was cool. It paid the bills.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what did it for me was I just knew that I'm not going to be doing this for forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I knew it was something bigger I just knew I had a bigger calling on my life.
Yeah.
And I think really what did it for me was we celebrated one of the employees like anniversary.
Yeah.
And she was there for like I don't even know. It was a long time. But it was like
30 years, 25 years.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I'm like, that kind of just clicked immediately. I'm like, I would never be here that long.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would never be in one spot for that long, let alone just, and that was just me.
Yeah, that's
you. Know what I
you.
mean?
That's no
Like,
knock.
Yeah, it's no
to
knock.
people
'Cause
that do 30 years.
I always tell people that like that just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I knew it was something bigger because number one, I went to college.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a job. I graduated in a recession. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
So you was already taking something that you didn't necessarily
it
want
was just
anyway.
like this was something that was, and I knew I needed to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what allowed me to get my place, my own place. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and it just allowed me to work on, figuring it out.
Yeah.
So fast forward,
Because I didn't have a job and I was living with my mom's and I didn't mind it, but I would have rather had my own place.
Yeah, I mean, and coming out of college, it's like you done spent 4.5 years on your own,
Right. And now you got to go
now
back
you're going
and
back to
live
the
with your
to the
parents.
house, So, and that was a quick transition for me. So we graduated, got the job, then I got my place, and I stayed there. I worked for 2 years, but in the meantime, and you were there, like we was cooking up in the apartment. Like
Yeah.
that's when that was my very first time releasing a solo project.
Yeah.
You know
and that
what I
was
mean?
fun.
And that was fun. And then as soon as that happened,
It was you. That was who else was on that? The DJ Champ, right?
Yep, Champ hosted. Shout out to Champ.
Yeah. And Champ's doing huge things now.
Champ is he's doing great things, man. I'm happy for him and seeing the growth. You know what I mean? Because these is people like when you grow up with somebody and you see their glow up.
Yeah.
Like I'd be excited about that.
Yeah, you
know
gotta
what I mean?
celebrate.
Because it's just like, man, I know what you went through. I seen the work that you put in, and why you're here. I understand why you're here because I seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they show you it's possible.
For sure, hard work pays off. So leaving. Oh no, me and my buddies, we took a trip to LA.
Yeah.
This is how LA even. I've
Okay,
never been to LA.
Tell us how it started.
Never been to LA at all. We took a trip as I was working. Like we went on a guy's trip to LA because Jones was out there at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and went out there, fell in love immediately. I'm like, oh, this is where I need to be at. Didn't know how I was gonna do it, but just knew like, oh, LA it was just different. It was just something about the energy, and mind you, this is 14, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? So that first trip is what really kind of like, I'm like, all right, cool. I can see myself, living in LA. Like,
So you went out there, first visit, you could see yourself living out
100%.
there. Yeah, wow.
100%. Because, I mean, that was in the 2 years after I graduated. I moved to LA in 2011.
Yeah.
So graduated December of 2008, worked from 2009 to 2011,
Yep.
and I was out.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that trip did it. Like,
Did it.
you know what I mean?
What was it? Was it the palm?
I think it was just the energy. You know what I mean? It was just the energy. It was just being around.
What does that mean? The energy.
The energy was just different.
Yeah.
Like people were. It was just like no one was having a bad day.
Ah.
So it was just like the energy was just like, oh, it's palm trees, beaches. People are out. It's 1 o'clock. It's like, do y'all work?
Where?
How is all these people at the beach? Like, where do you work at?
Why are y'all outside? Like, go.
And I'm seeing young people get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's 18, 19-year-olds pulling up in Ferraris, and it's like, okay, this is I don't know how y'all doing it,
Yeah.
but I like it.
Yeah.
It was just a fast pace. It's just a way faster pace than indie.
Yeah. And
You know
it's
what I mean?
something about, we got to say this because this is a gym. It's something about being where the action is.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, it's not, people are not there for no reason.
No,
like, the celebrities are there.
There's a reason.
There's a lot of money out there. Like, there's whether it's LA or New York.
Yeah.
Like these, or, so now you seeing like the Atlantis. There's other big cities.
Yeah.
And probably Atlanta maybe is, I don't know if it's officially third now, but it's definitely New York, LA, and I don't know what the third is, but there's a lot of big cities and
Yeah.
people are out, and there's a reason
There's a reason.
that people are there.
There's a reason
the
for
action is happening
It's
there.
the action. it's something in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get off the plane like the smog.
Yeah. The smog really
The smog that's hurting my chest.
it really brought me here.
It's what I love.
Got my throat messed
But
up.
yeah, I just think that was it. And I was so in like entertainment mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I knew music was
You had just did the project.
just did the project, printed out the CDs. I think I did one like going away show in Indy.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, when I tell them, like, man, I'm about to move to LA. Didn't even know how. I'm just everybody's like, no, you're not. Where you finna? No,
Yeah.
we don't leave. We stay here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not possible for you.
So once I figured it out, man, it was a crazy transition because I shipped my car. Mind you, I took out everything in my 401k. And mind you, that was just for the 2 years I was working.
Yeah.
So it might have been like $2,500. I had $2,500 to my name.
Yeah.
I shipped my car. I had a Toyota Corolla. No, a Nissan Altima.
Nissan Altima.
Yeah, I had an Altima at the time, and I shipped it to LA. Got a little bit of my clothes and packed it in the car, and that was it.
So scoot back, run back a little bit. How many people told you no, you're not, or are you sure? Stop, do it later. How many people kind of gave you that? What we talked about for that friction or that resistance of no, wait, stop.
It was a lot because no one at the time, people weren't like leaving like that. You know what I mean? Especially going to LA.
Right.
Like, okay, it'd be different you going to Columbus or, just around like,
Yeah.
but to go
to
completely across
Cincinnati
the you know what I mean, the other side
of the United States of America.
And it wasn't for me, I knew what I wanted. So you sure? Because even my pops,
yeah,
I'm like, man, I can make da-da-da. He's like, man, I ain't no money. You can't go out there. Ain't no money. You got to be making at least. I'm like, yeah, but it's just me. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was always the biggest thing that stuck in my mind. Number one, I'm not taking care of anybody else. It's just me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if this thing fails, I can always come back home.
Yeah.
Because this is where my support system is at.
Right.
I know y'all not leaving me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm maybe leaving the situation,
Right.
but I just knew what I wanted. You know what I mean? And I'm like, at least I'm going to go try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so fast forward, you get out there and what was the first exciting, memorable thing that happened to you that solidified to you? Well, give it to us both ways. What that solidified to you, I'm supposed to be here, or that made you think I got to take my butt back home?
Well, all right, this is a funny story. Because when I first moved to LA, they were doing the 405, which is the major highway in LA. It's where you get to. They were shutting it down, so you couldn't even drive on the 405.
Wow.
So Mike Jones, shout out to Jones. So when I first moved to LA, I lived with Mike Jones.
Mike Jones,
Who? Mama Jones, and Courtney. Like, this is, I was there. They opened their home to me. Like, and I just knew, like, okay, I can't stay here. I don't want to be a burden on nobody else. I need to get to it so I can get my spot and, figure it out. I got all that figured out. Me and Courtney end up moving into an apartment. Tony comes like 3 months after, because Courtney was already there.
Okay.
Courtney and Jones had already been there.
Yeah.
And then I moved there, and then Tony came like 3 or 4 months after me. So
you was following them basically.
Yeah. So because that was my only
you knew
Courtney and Jones were
only
my
people
only
you
two
knew.
people there. So when we went to LA, we all
Linked
they were
up.
all they were already in the mix. So it was just like, okay, I got.
Was every day a party?
Every day was, I wouldn't say a party. It was just different. It's like, man, I am literally in LA. It took a while to process that. You know what I mean? Like, just that feeling of, man, I gotta just figure. Like, I'm just taking it all in, really. But I was really outside. You know what I mean? Like we were going to events, like
Yeah.
So that fast forward to the story with when the 405 shut down.
Yep.
We Jones and Courtney had a good relationship with Jamie Foxx's people. So Deidre, which is Jamie Foxx's sister, shout out to Deidre. Shout out to Tasha. Like these are just people in Fox's camp. So they ended up bringing me along. We go over to Fox crib. He had a party.
Wow. The Jamie Foxx.
The Jamie Foxx. And mind you, if people that know me know that Jamie Foxx is my favorite artist, favorite, entertainer.
Comedian, actor.
The whole nine.
Musician.
And that's been like that before I even knew that I would even meet.
That's crazy.
Him.
So was you starstruck?
I wasn't starstruck. It was more so like, this is where I belong. You know what I mean? It was just like, there's a reason why. So anyway, we go to the house.
Okay.
The 405 ended up getting shut down.
Yeah.
We stayed at Jamie Foxx's house. This is the first interaction. I stayed at Jamie Foxx maybe for 3 or 4 days.
The first time you ever meet him?
The first time we ever met, 3 or 4 days, because his house is humongous. You know what I mean? So people are just, because you can't go nowhere. The 405 is how you get to the. So it was just, I forgot what they called it. It was like 405 Armageddon or something like that. But literally at Jamie Foxx's crib.
Wow.
It was nuts. It was a crazy, it was just a crazy experience.
So when you say crib, it's not like a crib that we thinking that, everybody see each other every 5 seconds. Like, no, it's a crib that's. It's a mansion.
Yeah, it's a mansion in L.A.
A lot of square feet.
Out. Yeah, it's spread out,
Yeah.
And he would throw events there. Yeah. So he has a full court. So I think it was All-Star when we went out there. That was the very first time that that meeting that we had.
Okay.
When the guys went out there. So he had the celebrity basketball game in the back. So everybody's there. I got pictures. We'll throw up the pictures.
Yeah.
So I got receipts. So that happens. And he's super cool, like down to earth, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, but in my mind, I'm like, this is crazy. Like,
yeah.
There's a reason why I moved to LA. So that was just kind of a
boom. I'm supposed to be here.
This is it. You know what I mean? And that's how and literally that's how I moved when I moved to LA. Like, I'm supposed, because that's how I just felt.
You met Jamie Foxx. How many weeks or days do you think did it take to meet him? Was it a month, 3 months, a year?
I can't remember. Maybe like a month.
Wow. So that's fairly fast.
It was quick. It happened. It was a quick situation.
But again, that goes back to being in the mix. These people live there.
Yeah, for sure.
So there is a higher likelihood that you're going to meet them there than you are.
Sure, 100%. Anywhere else.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I didn't want to do too much and be like, man, I do music. Let me sing for you and do all of that. Because I'm like, it's probably people, and this is new.
Yeah.
This is new. I don't even know how to approach this situation. Hey, I'm Steve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm Steve. I tap dance.
You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't, I very seldom do I get starstruck.
Yeah.
I think the only time that I was starstruck is when I seen Denzel Washington and Halle Berry.
Wow.
And they were together.
Wow.
At Jamie Foxx's house, actually. He was throwing another party, and it just so happened I stumbled in the room and they were right there. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Just Denzel Washington and Halle Berry just sitting in the. So that part was crazy.
Sitting in the living room.
Yeah,
having a tea.
And I think that was just and that wasn't even
That's
a starstruck because it was just, like I said, I felt like I belonged.
This is normal. This is
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then once you just start seeing celebrities all the time, I mean, man, I have a lot of pictures with just celebrities that I'm even opening from them because that's when I was really actively moving around in music. So I'm opening for all of these acts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just felt like I belonged there. You know what I mean? And that's the way I moved. That's the way I approached LA because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think really what turned for me was the partying and going out and, we popping bottles because that, mind you, I only went to LA with $2,500.
Right.
That $2,500 was spent first month. So and I was supposed to have when I moved. The only reason I moved to LA is because I was supposed to have a modeling job with Rosé, the liquor. This is when Rosé, the champagne, just came out.
Oh,
and
I don't think I knew this.
Yeah, I don't know. So this is the crazy part. So I was supposed to be doing events. I was supposed to have like 4 events a week that I was supposed to do. So I was supposed to make like $2,800 a month.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $700 a week or something like that. I'm like, oh, I can live off of $2,800. Mind you, this is 14 years ago.
Right.
Like, this is me. I can live off of $2,800 a month.
Yeah, you can make it work.
Get out to LA with this deal that I was supposed to be doing.
Hey, I'm here, guys. Ready to check
Yeah,
in?
I'm here. I'm ready to go. I think I might have did 3 total events. Total. So that whole thing
Wait a minute.
went under.
This ain't what we talked about.
So I'm like, oh, I have to figure out, because now, you know, I'm spending.
yeah.
I'm spending.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got to figure out what to do next.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
I think that's the most shocking thing, and especially for young people, when you first really enter the world after you done left college and all that, you really on your own, and you got something that you banking on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have this. No, I got this. Like I'm gonna have 2,800, and then it don't go the way you expect.
Out the gate, I said, do you know I just moved cross country for this? So that part of it was, you know, that was super frustrating, because now I'm like, and me, I've always been a hustler. So, okay, this don't work. I got to figure it out.
Yep.
So then that's when I put off. I'm like, all right, I got to get a job. I got to put some money in my pocket. I ended up getting a friend of mine who I met when I first moved out there. Her mom worked for one of the private airlines. So she was like, you know, I can get you a job as, you know, one of the TSA people. You just wand the people, and, you know, but it was a government contractor job. So it wasn't like consistent.
Yeah.
They would have to call you, you know what I mean? You making good money, not doing nothing. I'm still there. I'm meeting, you know,
More celebrities.
more celebrities,
coming in on private jets.
private jets. And so I did that for a little bit. And I'm like, I need more money.
Yeah.
So this is when the relationships start to kick in.
Yeah.
So CJ, who we went to Purdue with,
Okay.
he's working at
Okay.
Enterprise.
Yeah. CJ. Shout out to CJ.
Yep, shout out to CJ. He's working at Enterprise, and he's like, man, I told him, like, man, I'm in LA, man. I need a gig, though. I need something. Bro, he's like, oh, we hiring at Enterprise. I can get you on, blah, blah, blah. Bet.
Yeah.
Gets me on at Enterprise. That's how
Relationships. College friendship.
it started.
That's how it pays.
So now I'm working at Enterprise, making $11.88,
Ooh.
which was, I think it might have been like 32,000.
Yeah.
And this is my gig.
Yeah. Woo.
So imagine working like 11-hour days, then coming back home trying to record, because I was actively, you know, I had the studio in the house.
Yeah.
I went to bigger studios, but for me, I'm like, because we were recording in when I was in Lakes of Georgetown.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I know how to record myself. I just
Right.
got to get better equipment.
Yep.
So going to these bigger studios, I'm like, all right, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Figuring it out. Now I pieced together my whole studio.
Yeah.
That's how that whole thing, and I've always self-taught myself how to record.
Yeah.
And
Investing in yourself all while working.
So the money that I was making from Enterprise was literally going to rent and studio equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was my life.
Yeah.
And I would be so exhausted, because me and Tony, we worked together. We were at the same Enterprise. And mind you, we're killing it. So we're making them, we were just killing it.
Yeah, just killing it. Great hospitality.
Just great hospitality, because we know how to
meeting
sell.
people. Yeah,
you know what I
selling
mean?
people.
In Enterprise, this is in a recession. They ain't have no recession. They hiring people right out of high school. I
Yeah.
mean, right out of college. Oh,
yeah.
you got out of college? Cool. We got you a job here. It's $11.88.
Yeah.
But who's not going to take that when you need a gig?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but for me, I'm learning the system of Enterprise.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So this is how y'all check in. This is the system that you use. This is how, because I feel like that's the most important part of having a job.
Mhm.
How can I learn this
It
system?
is.
How are y'all doing this? How are y'all a $1 billion company?
It is.
How are y'all doing this? So
Yep.
this was always my mindset, because I'm like, oh, we can grow in the company. You know, we go to assistant manager, da. So long story short, with this Enterprise situation,
Yeah.
Tony was about to grill. So grill is like when you're about to go to assistant manager. You got to take a test and all of that. He was up to grill. He's checking a lady in, backs a car out. It's a lady behind the thing. She falls out like he hit her.
Wow.
Falls on the ground like, oh. Makes a huge scene. We like, they ended up letting Tony go.
Wow.
Right before he's about to grill.
Wow.
Now, mind you, this is my guy.
Yeah, that's your homeboy.
This is my, you feel me? This is my brother. I'm in LA with him.
Yeah.
And
in the trenches together.
You fire your best. Me and him are the best over there.
Yeah.
You fire him.
Off a flute.
Off a flute.
Off a lie.
So he's going through it. I'm going through it for him because I'm like, this is crazy. Now I don't even want to do it no more.
Right. This is how it is.
This is how, this is how it goes. Oh, you hit, because it's in the handbook. You hit somebody or run somebody over, whatever.
Yeah, it's a problem.
You got to let you go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for somebody to put in this much work and you just let them go.
Right.
So I had resentment about that. I'm like,
no thorough investigation.
Yeah,
no
nothing.
like, choosing your side. You innocent until
you gotta go.
Nope. Sorry. We don't want to deal with that.
So they ended
which is very corporate-y. I mean, that don't surprise me.
No, at all. Now it does, because at the time, it was a surprise because we hadn't been in corporate.
Absolutely.
It was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
How could you?
I'm working this hard for you.
Yeah, everybody's like, we the top sellers and we done made you this money and this happens.
Yeah, and you treat us like this. This is
So they ended up moving me to Exotics, which is Enterprise Exotics.
Yeah.
So now I'm selling the higher end vehicles. I got some pictures that's when I ain't had no mustache. I had all my face shaved, but I'm driving all the nicest car. People like, what you doing? Like, I'm in LA. I'm driving all the nicest cars. So people, I'm pulling up in Bentleys and stuff, and I got my suit and tie on.
Yeah.
People pulled me over. I was capping at the time. They was like, man, that's a nice car. Man, I'm like, who are you? Yeah, I play sports. I'm acting like I'm an athlete. No, good and well, I'm delivering this car for Enterprise.
I play for the Miami Lakers. Like, who?
Yeah, so that part was crazy. So I ended up getting into an accident. I was about to grill. I was about to become assistant manager, but I didn't want to. I was just like, I'm done with this job. Like, fire my boy, like, whatever. We ended up getting in an accident, got rear-ended, messed my back up. So I ended up on disability.
Oh, wow.
So that's really what allowed me to start recording every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm knocking out music every day.
Yeah.
And they're calling me like, hey, Steve, how you doing? I'm like, my back really hurts. And
yeah, I was in a bad accident, guys.
I'm just not doing well. I don't know when I'm going to be able to come back.
Mentally.
Man, I was on disability for probably a year. They're like, all right, Steve, you coming back or you not? And I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
And that's what started my entrepreneur journey.
Yeah, I got to figure it out now.
Because that year gave me a time to really figure out, like,
I can invest in myself.
I can really do this. And I didn't want to go back to Enterprise. I wasn't making no money.
Right.
I was working hard.
Yeah.
But this is when Uber came out.
Mm-hmm.
Uber was the best thing for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because now I don't have nobody breathing down my back to tell me, hey, you need to get up and drive. Like, oh, this is dependent on me?
Yeah.
Man, I was driving like a straight madman, bro. I might have been making literally $1,500 a week. That's how much I was driving.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm like, I'm making $6,000 a month, and no one's telling me nothing. So I'm able to go to modeling gigs. Like before, when I was working at Enterprise, I'm lying to them because I was doing modeling when I was there. So if I had a gig to go to, my stomach hurts. I'm not gonna be able to. Yeah. It's just
trying
like
to juggle it all.
Yeah, I'm just lying to the boss, and I'm like, Uber was the best thing that could have happened for me. Because it allowed me to be disciplined enough to know, like, I got to get out of. If I don't get out of bed, I don't make no money.
Right.
And mind you, I'm trying to figure it out because I have to figure it out. I have nothing else going on.
Yeah.
So I'm driving crazy.
If I don't work, I don't eat.
If I don't work, I don't eat. Driving crazy. I ended up going to my dentist. So my dentist at the time, the family, they owned black and SUV cars, Lux. So Uber Lux came out before it was like the beta for LA. No one else had Lux.
Yeah.
So when I was driving the Teslas and the Tesla, this was about 2013. They're like, how you in a Tesla?
Right.
I kept the car 24/7. I just paid him a weekly amount to use the car, but it was a 60-40 split.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and this is when I was trying to like figure out how to get into the game. Like, how can I get a truck and drive for myself? Because this is when Black was big,
Popper.
You know what I mean? Like, and all the Armenians back in LA bought up all the, like when they first Uber started, they would get 20, 30 cars and have them in their fleet.
Mm-hmm.
So it got so oversaturated, there were more Uber cars than it was the demand for the drivers.
Yeah.
So they ended up cutting it off where you can't get into Uber Black anymore.
Because they saturate.
Because they
that joint.
oversaturate.
Oh, opportunity, we on it.
We're on it.
Now
And
I respect that. It's like because they community probably so
For sure.
tight
And they
knit that
for sure.
it's an opportunity. We putting our money in the pot. We go.
This is how we're. This
Boom.
is what we're doing. We're getting the our fleet together.
Wow.
Put all of our money together and get a whole bunch of cars. And they ran it up. I
up.
seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
I helped the person that put me on.
Yeah.
I was working for him for so long. Like I'm seeing him. Like, oh, we just got another truck. We just got another truck. So I'm like, man, I need to put me on. Tell me how do I get my own truck? You want to give me a game?
Close the gate.
Gatekeeping. I ended up finding it out just because that's what I'm gonna be on.
Yeah.
You're not gonna tell me. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I ended up getting my own truck. I go to the Uber office. I tell the Uber, they were like, yeah, I said, you don't have like at least one. I ended up buying a spot. They gave me the spot to buy.
Wow.
So that's how I got into the game.
Yeah.
So I'm driving Uber. Me and my buddy, shout out to Critter. Critter got to end up getting in the game. We driving everywhere.
So Critter.
Everywhere. We picking up celebrities. And I'm such a hustler with it. I got business cards printed out. Anybody that got in the truck here, I do private rides on the side. Like if you don't want to go through Uber, you can, book directly through me.
Yeah.
That's how I ran up that whole play of
entrepreneurship.
That's it. So then I end up
From
scaling
worker to entrepreneur
to 4 trucks. This is when you come into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
We end up getting 4 trucks. Now we're renting the cars out to the drivers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a super play because we make it $650 a week off of 4 cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I'm just running it and allowing the drivers to do their thing.
Moving to more of the ownership.
That's it.
Position.
Like, okay, because I've already was driving for someone that was doing that with me.
Yeah.
So now all I know is just like, okay, now I just need to manage the day and day.
Yeah.
So figuring that out and then the getting the drivers, super, super big play.
Yeah.
Because now it's like I'm really in this entrepreneur lane.
Yeah.
I have 4 cars in my fleet that are rented out. And the drivers are now, of course, there was headaches that came with it,
Absolutely.
Cars breaking down, the whole 9. And I don't know what it is. It's just transportation keeps pulling at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as soon as COVID hit, now we're looking at 2020.
Yeah.
We done sold the cars. And
of course, everything dried up for a bit.
Everything dried up.
Because it was COVID.
And
people don't even want to leave the house.
We get rid of the fleet, and I think so this is when I met Kanye.
Do you still have the account?
I do.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know if it's active or not.
It might. Yeah, it might be. We need to look at that.
Yeah, but this is when I met Kanye.
Okay.
Right before COVID hit. This was around that time.
Yeah.
So
wait. Let's catch everybody up. So we got. You were a worker.
Mm-hmm.
Life happens, ends up pushing you to entrepreneur status, where you're kind of your own boss, and then you become a boss of others.
Yep.
That's going.
And I'm still driving my private clients around
here and
there. So people will call me like, hey, so this particular time, Michael Conley was in town.
Okay. Mike Conley is a hooper.
Yes.
NBA player.
NBA
played
phenomenon.
At Ohio State.
And
And a At that time, who was with the Jazz or
No, he was with Memphis.
Memphis Grizzlies?
Yeah, I think he was with Memphis at that time.
Yeah.
But he was in town because he had a meeting with Kanye.
Okay.
But I was the driver.
Wow.
So he's like, man, I got a meeting with Kanye. You know what I mean? We're going to go to... And mind you, in my mind, I'm like, Kanye who? Like, what you mean you finna have a meeting? Apparently, my Kanye is a huge fan of Mike Conley.
Wow.
So he's like, man, I want you to come to the warehouse and, you know, come to the headquarters and look at some stuff, hear some music, da da da. Now, mind you, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to go to this meeting.
Right.
So, you know, I'm just here for the ride, see what happens.
Yeah.
I pick Mike up, you know, I take him to do all of his stuff. We pull up to Calabasas. This is an office space.
Calabasas is a city north of LA. For people who don't know,
This is where all
a lot of wealth is up there, right?
a lot of wealth, yeah. A lot of celebrities lived there. They kind of dispersed from there now because it's kind of gotten, you know, it's still there, but
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people are moving elsewhere. We get there, and mind you, I got on. I'm like dressed apart.
Mm-hmm.
I got on some Balenciaga kicks,
Yeah.
a little jeans, a little shirt or whatever. I'm prepared for if I were to
An opportunity if something
because
happens.
I'm not about to come in here looking like whatever. I at least want to play some type of part.
It's too late to prepare when the opportunity comes. You have to be prepared before the opportunity.
And on top of that, anytime I drove, like if I'm driving my clients, I'm dressed.
Yeah.
It was just that's just how I was moving around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna throw on something nice. I'm never gonna look bummy because LA, you can go to Ralph's and run into somebody.
Yeah.
It's just that type of vibe.
Yeah.
You just
Ralph's
never know.
is the grocery store.
Ralph's is the grocery store.
Yeah, you gotta tell people because they don't know.
It's it's the sister company to Kroger.
Yeah.
So
Huge grocery store in
huge
LA.
grocery store. That's
California.
That's our main grocery store is Ralph's. So you can run into anybody.
Yeah.
It don't even matter where you're at. You can run into anybody.
And I think that's crazy because we see these people on TV, but we forget that they actually
They
live.
there. They
in
gotta go
California.
get gas.
They gotta get gas. They gotta get groceries.
I'm literally running. It was funny. I went to the car wash. Bill Bellamy pulls up in the parking lot. He just free. It's just free. It's just like it's just a free for all for you. Just never know.
Got through watching Players Club and stepped
you
out for a
just-
second.
What's
and
up,
you see
Bill?
it.
Oh yeah, man. I'm just getting some gas,
Hey man, just saw you work. All right. Actually, I got it on pause. I'm gonna go back and check that out.
So, anyway, the
No, that's
Kanye
dope.
story. Mike gets out the car.
Yeah. Y'all pull up to Calabasas.
We
Mike
pull up
gets
to
out the car.
Calabasas. It's me, Mike Conley, and Brandon Wills. So Brandon is Mike Conley's stylist.
Okay.
It's us three. And as we're pulling up, Sci-Hi, the Prince, pulls up.
Mm.
So he's with I think his assistant manager or something. I mean, not assistant manager, his publicist or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So he gets out the car. I get out the truck because I'm like, let me just see what happens.
Yeah.
So I get out the truck. I'm talking to Sci-Hi the Prince. And mind you, I'm a Sci-Hi the Prince fan. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I'm meeting Sci-Hi just so, you know, we shake up.
Did you hesitate at all to get out the truck or no? You just-
Nah, I was just like,
All right,
let's just see what happens.
let's get
You know,
out,
because
yeah.
we're really like lingering at this point.
Yeah.
We're waiting for him to come out. So as we get out of the car, that's when Sci-Hi pulls up. We all start walking to the building, to the front.
Mm-hmm.
The door opens, it's Kanye.
Wow.
He sees Mike, shakes up with Mike, and I just fall in line
Yeah.
because I belong here.
Hey, that's powerful.
I belong here.
I belong here.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you. How you doing, Mr. West? God bless you.
So we go into a spot and he ain't like, oh, who is this? Or, you know, it wasn't that type of vibe. He was just super cool.
Super cool.
We go in.
He didn't have a whole army of people around him. Like,
I mean, so it's actually crazy. He didn't have a whole army. He had somebody that was checking in, you know, people at because it's just a warehouse.
Yeah.
Like it's in a building. You wouldn't never know it was his.
yeah,
You go in, you know, checking in
Front
people right
desk,
there,
like,
front desk.
situation, yeah.
Then you go through the door, and then it just opens up. It's got the studio.
Yeah.
It's got where he's got a whole other thing. So we go in, and he's like, "Let me show y'all around." Shows us the studio. It's just an open space. He got these big, expensive speakers.
Yeah.
Then we go around to another space. He has all the, the patterns and all the Yeezy stuff.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He has a whole factory in there. So he has an area where his people are designing and I like this, picking fabric, whatever. Then he has another area where they're doing the shoes. It's a whole factory of where they're doing the shoes at.
Wow.
So he's showing Mike like shoes that haven't even came out yet. Like, what you think of these? Just feeling the leather. And this was a time when I was like, I was in that mode of, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that I'm driving myself,
Yep.
putting myself in a situation like, oh, okay, if I happen to be able to get into this, being able to take the phone call.
Right.
Hey, will you be able to make this? Because Reese is the one who set it up. Reese set up, he's like, man, I got to go out of town. This is actually crazy. He ended up leaving to catch a flight, didn't even know that all of this was going to transpire. He didn't know that I was going to be able to go into the meeting.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So he ended up leaving. And I'm texting him. I'm like, oh, bro, this is the wrong time for you to leave. I tease him to this day about that.
This is crazy because, said another way, you bet on yourself, and now look at the opportunities, the exposure, the like, because it's something about exposure. You're getting to see behind the scenes, like we've talked about before on the podcast, of an American, superstar.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's more relatable. It's not so aloof.
Yeah.
Because you're right there in front of it.
For sure.
And like you said, I belong here.
Yeah.
But it starts with you betting on yourself.
For sure.
I like this. Keep going.
So we get there. He's showing all the materials and everything. He's just like, yeah, let's go into the let's go into the studio. He starts just cooking up, like in the studio, just playing beats, like just the whole little thing. And I'm just sitting here like, that's crazy.
He starts cooking.
He's literally cooking. So then he was like, y'all drink? He had the big the Hennessy bottle. It was like the $1,000 Hennessy.
Yeah.
I forgot what I forgot which one it was. The VP or something like that. One of the expensive ones. It was like $1,000 for the bottle. He ran out. So he was like, Mike was like, Mike gives me his card and was like, go get bottles at the liquor store. So I leave, go get the bottles, come back. Now I came back with the bottles. So now we sipping this Hennessy, listening to this music.
Wow.
And here's the crazier story. The whole time I'm sitting next to Tremaine and didn't even know who he was.
Wow.
Cause he's been around Kanye. So for people who don't know, Tremaine is Denim Tears. For those who don't know. So
which is super popular right now.
Crazy. And I'm like, man, what you do? He's like, man, just creative director. Real cool, like got the dreads. Tremaine Emery. Yep. And creative director, not even knowing who he was about to, he was already in the mix. You just he's behind the scenes, so you don't know. So now I'm meeting people that's like, oh, and now seeing it, all of this transpired now, it's like
crazy.
It's nuts. So fast forward, we end up staying at the studio, listening to some music. We leave. He's like, yeah, y'all want to go to Nobu? We go to Nobu.
How many hours have transpired at this point?
We were probably together for 8 hours.
Wow.
It was probably an 8-hour day.
So
we go to Nobu. Hold on, let me tell you the Nobu story because this gets even more crazy.
Okay, go ahead.
So, and we're in the one in Malibu. So he's got like a little private area.
Tell the people. So Nobu, if you don't know, is a very famous restaurant.
Famous restaurant. Google it. In Malibu. So we get the table. It's me, the same people, but as we're eating, it's some more girls that came by, just probably friends or whatever, just his people.
Yeah.
Dang, what's this dude's name? What's the guy's name with the scar on his face? The black singer. Silk.
Not Silk, but Kiss
Bro.
from a Rose.
Yeah, how am I forgetting his name? He comes in.
Hold on, let me look it up. Go ahead.
That makes me mad because I know exactly who he is.
Well, you're recounting a lot. So Seal.
So Seal walks in,
Hey, Seal, how's it going, bud?
shakes up with comes in. He's with his family. Oh, hey, I'm like, all of this is documented. Let's put it that way.
Man, that's crazy.
This is all documented. And now, it's fast forward. It's been some years, so we can talk about it. But before, it was like we couldn't even talk about it. You know what I mean? What no cameras and you filming the moment because at the time, but it was just a crazy experience. So the picture so Complex. So when we're walking out of Nobu, so we sat there and ate this expensive seafood that don't even get you full. You eat and then you're hungry an hour later. So we're leaving out and there's photos with Complex because paparazzi's out or whatever. So we're walking out. So you see a picture of me like behind Kanye and just coming out of the restaurant, like just
Right.
a candid photo.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a picture with it was me, Sci-Hi, Mike, and Kanye. So the blog site picked it up. My followers went absolutely crazy. Like, hey, you out here with Kanye? It was a crazy day. And then just having, just conversing with him, it's like Kanye's not no idiot. You know what I mean? People think that, he's crazy. Like, nah, he's just doing what he's passionate about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when you sit and talk to him and I was, I wasn't saying, I was just sitting back and I was just embracing the moment. You know what I mean? Like we had little bitty conversation about just music and just little stuff. It was just like he wasn't throwing a whole bunch. It was more so about Mike because I didn't want to step on that situation. His meeting was with Mike.
Right, exactly.
I'm the driver.
Yes, I'm just the driver.
It just so happens that I'm a huge fan and this is what I actually do as well. So that part, that whole day was just crazy. Like once I dropped Mike off, I'm like, I'm not driving for the rest of the day. I was just,
I'm done.
Yeah, I was just,
you should have been done.
I can't even remember what me and Mike did. I think we went back to his hotel or something. We was just talking about the whole,
it was just amazing.
It was just a dope day, but it just made me realize that number one, everyone's human.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing, and number two, just not being afraid to embrace who you are. Like, I'm a special individual.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody else says. This is what I think in my mind.
Right.
So I belong here.
Don't cower
So
down.
when I get out the car, I'm supposed to be coming in here with him. Actually, I'm with just...
I'm actually with...
Yeah, what you need? Okay, I'll go to liquor store. Because that's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy to add value.
I'm getting out of my comfort zone and being able to say, I would play...
that role, accept that role.
This is it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you never know what comes of that. You know what I mean? And just being in that moment was just super dope. That was probably one of the highlights of me living in LA.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because who can say that they spent the whole day with Kanye
Right,
West?
not just met him for a picture, like literally.
And on top of that,
spent the day with him and Sci-Hi and
like people don't. If you don't know
Tremaine
Sci-Hi
and Mike Conley,
Mike Conley, Brandon Willis, like he's going crazy with the fashion. He's got Hudson jeans. Actually, these his jeans, but he's got the jeans. He did a collab with Hudson.
Oh wow.
So shout out to Brandon, man. Shout out to Conley. Shout out to Kanye West. Shout out to Sci-Hi.
All good people.
All good people.
And that's dope because
And I got a dope photo, and Kanye was actually smiling in it.
Yeah, we'll have to find that.
Yeah, we got to find it. It's somewhere.
But I think what's so, or y'all can Google it. I'm sure y'all Google, try to look it up. Kanye, Mike Conley, Steve James.
Yeah.
Sci-Hi. But what was I gonna say? Like, I just love the fact that you, like you said, you didn't cower to the moment, and like you believe in yourself enough to be out there. And I think it's a good reminder for our listeners. Is like, you don't know what could happen.
No, facts.
Stop lowering yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Act like you belong.
Act like you belong. And on top of that, like you said, these people are humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we look at them on the big screen and they seem larger than life, and it seem like everything is a setup or everything is a conspiracy. Like, no, these people got to eat,
For
sleep,
sure. They do the same
and
thing.
do all the same stuff we got to do. They just at a different level of their craft and their game. And a lot of times it's because they better themselves.
For sure.
Okay, we're going into overtime, because we got to get the people this before we get off. I know that's a great, amazing story. Thanks so much for telling
For
it.
sure. There's more. We have to talk about that.
But give the people, we got to hear 5 things before you just told us your LA journey, your LA story. But 5 things you would tell a young person, a new person, any person that wants to move to LA. What's 5 things they need to be on the lookout for or should be aware of before they move that maybe they wouldn't expect, or it's gonna be different?
Yeah. Number 1, I would say stack up money. Don't go out there broke.
Because the cost of living
is just, especially now.
Yeah.
I would never, like, when I went out there, it was totally different.
Yeah.
And that was 13 years ago, and it still was high.
What do you think, like a 1-bedroom? People don't even do 1-bedrooms. Everyone has a roommate.
Yeah,
right?
everybody got a roommate.
Yeah.
And you're paying at least $3,000 above
to have a roommate.
for a one. Yeah. Well, no, that's just a 1-bedroom.
That's a
3-bedroom. I mean, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. You're gonna pay $3,800, $4,000, depending on where you at.
Depending on where
you
you
can
at,
find
yeah.
something cheaper. You're gonna be,
Yeah,
you know,
or
you
some
may have
little-
a couple of roaches or something, but
But hey, that ain't never stopped
Yeah.
nobody.
no, don't worry about him.
Don't worry about
He
him.
pays rent over in that area. But you know,
We outside anyway, so
stack
we barely here. Okay, stack your money.
your money. Find somebody that's out there. You know, so your resources. And are you talking about moving to LA or?
Yeah. I'm talking about moving.
To
Like
move.
I don't live there. Help me be aware before I get there.
Gotcha.
The stuff I need to be thinking about.
Stack up money. Utilize your resources.
So like a network. If you
Your
need
network. You need to be getting in your Rolodex, finding out
to be who out there that you
who's
know.
whatever you're going out there for, whatever your intentions are.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out who's in whatever that you're trying to do.
Try to make connections before
So
you
if you're
get
trying
out
to
there.
if you're trying to do music, yeah, set that up before, because I was shooting in the dark.
Uh-huh.
When I moved out there, I didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had $1, literally $1 in a dream,
Dollar in the dream, yeah.
and that dollar went real quick.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I had something that was, you know, a cushion,
Yeah.
then it's different. And I wouldn't even move to LA. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
What-
I would stay wherever I'm at if it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And then I would just fly to LA when, you know, if, okay, I'm going out for the weekend. Cool. Let me
Mm-hmm.
get an Airbnb. I know somebody that lives out there. Cool. Let me do that. Then you can go out and network and see if you like it.
Right.
Because going somewhere and not knowing, LA is a beast.
It's a beast. It'll swallow you up, spit you right back
It's
out.
a beast. And I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen people go and have to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
I've
wasn't
seen
ready
people
for
go
the expense. You wasn't
and
ready for the
totally switch their whole career up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because for me, I was on that starving artist. Like, oh, I'm just gonna just not do anything and just do music.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the wrong approach.
Yeah.
Because you need money to be able to
'Cause
fund
you
the
gonna
thing.
starve, brother.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so have that job. If you're still working that job, work that job and be able to move and maneuver and to do that. So
Mhm.
stack money, resources,
What about like
your
the traffic and the transportation?
well, yeah, I was
and-
gonna say that. The traffic and transportation is
How do
you
you,
don't- you
ever
don't
get
ha-
used to that?
you just kind of, your skin just grows for it.
Yeah.
Like, you just, I'm in traffic. And you kind of, like, for me, I knew when to be out in it.
Okay.
So if I know I got to go downtown, or if I know if I got to go anywhere, this is the time that I need to do that. After that, you going to be liable to,
You can be in traffic for
You
how
know what I
long?
mean?
Hour.
It just depends on where
Minimum.
you're going. But yeah, it takes a while. Like you can be going 6 miles and it takes you 45 minutes. It's crazy.
Yikes.
And it's more people than it was when I first came. So the traffic just, every year just gets worse. It's
Yeah.
like, stop moving to LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Please, that is
but
crazy.
it's just a, you have to learn how to maneuver and when to drive. They have public transit. I never do the public transit.
Yeah.
I needed to have a vehicle so I can be able to move around. But Uber is super huge there.
Mm-hmm.
You can find an Uber. It ain't like here. Like take 10, 15 minutes. You call an Uber in LA, there's somebody on the corner waiting.
Right, 2 minutes.
Boom.
Waiting on you to
Waiting
get
to
in.
and pick up.
Yeah.
And then I would say just your belief system, your foundation. You know what I mean? Like having something to stand on. Because people come to LA and they lose themselves because it's easy. I've seen it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it's a dark place. That entertainment world, I'm just speaking of entertainment in general, LA in general, but the entertainment it's a worldly thing.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And you can get caught up.
Money, sex, drugs.
Money,
worldly.
sex, drugs, like all of that. Women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's everything that you see on TV, it's there. It's accessible to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you don't have that foundation, if you don't have God in your life, you can get lost in that. It's easy to do because you're so caught up in, there goes, celebrity. And that was the biggest, that's why I never got starstruck, I think. Because it's just like, number one, I belong here.
Right.
And number two, these are just human beings.
Yeah.
They found their way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me figure out how to find my way.
Right.
And if that happens to be bumping into them and, figuring it out, because, I still, some of the people that I open for, like Marsha Ambrosius, like when she comes to LA, she was using the car service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm driving her around to her gigs and stuff. So it's just being accessible and not being too big for a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you got to go make a run and go do something for somebody, then do it. If you got to stay up later or take somebody, it doesn't hurt to do that because you want to leave that good deed planted in someone's mind. Like, oh, this is a good person. He not just out here trying to, because it's easy. It's easy to get caught up in that life. And I'm glad that my foundation was great.
Yeah.
So I always had that. Like, I know, like, oh, okay, I shouldn't be going to this party.
So you would turn parties down, or you would turn events down, or you would
for sure.
leave
I've
places early.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. Like this is.
I've left.
This is going left.
I've left numerous of places because I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I have to get out of here.
Yeah, this ain't
And
right.
this is me going to parties, just going to parties,
Networking,
and
moving around.
this is being a driver.
Yeah.
Because when you're driving, they like, nah, you cool. Oh, come in here with us. Come to this party.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll pay you to sit out here because we want you to still drive us.
Right.
And for me, cool. I'm coming in there because I just don't know who's in there.
Right.
Now, once stuff starts to get wild and out of pocket,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna meet you in the whip.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or just call me when you're ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just had that. And for me, being around, high celebrity people,
Yeah.
I don't get caught up in that.
Yeah. And you got to watch certain, hopefully, like you said, I feel like, said another way, having that good foundation is you got to just know when your spirit
For sure.
it don't vibe with something. Something is off.
100%.
I've definitely been in places where it's like, yeah, everybody seem cool, but there's a
it's a vibe
it's
in
a
here.
vibe in here that's off. Either stuff is gonna get too wild,
Mm-hmm.
people doing stuff that's all right, this ain't,
Yep.
or it's getting too dangerous, or all types of stuff. It's like,
And you
know
have to be mindful, especially because I didn't have family in LA.
what? Yeah,
So for me, I had to be mindful of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I don't want nobody calling my people and they all the way in Indy and, they can't get to me. And
Right.
it's just, I always had those still thoughts in my mind. Like, number one, I don't want to let my family down. I don't want to let my family and friends down. And I don't want them to, see me crashing out.
right.
You feel me? Like that was never on my and I think that's what kind of took me away from partying too much. Because I seen that. It was a lot of people partying. Oh, we popping bottles. How you got money to do that?
Yeah,
Like, and I'm not riding another man's coattail. As soon as I felt that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want me to be around so I can? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get my own money.
Right.
I can't. I'm not that type of individual.
Yeah.
I need to have my own bag.
Right.
And I think that was the turning point for me.
Yeah, I'm not just finna be out
I'm
here.
just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not just
You want
letting
me
somebody
around
else pick up the bill every single time. No.
No, I don't want. I don't even want to even be. And this is when I'm still in LA. I'm still figuring out. So when I was really outside, I was outside, but I ain't have nothing.
Right.
What we celebrating?
Right.
What we popping bottles for?
Right. I'm out here celebrating with you.
Yeah. I work at Enterprise making $11.88. Ain't nothing to celebrate. I'm over here trying to
go strategize.
I'm over here trying to figure it out.
So ask about this though. So you said you got to have a good foundation. You got to be
some money.
You got to stack some money. You need to be networking, have some people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be aware that stuff is different. Traffic is different. It's going to take longer to get places, all of that. What about like, there's this idea that LA is dangerous and there's so much crime and it's unsafe. How do you prepare somebody for that piece of it?
That part, I really don't. You just got to stay out of certain areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but crime is just like anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be on a bus station and a homeless man stab somebody.
Yeah.
It's just that just happens.
Yeah. The probability of it ain't that much higher.
Yeah, and it's not like, you around like just drive-bys every day. Now, you're not going to Slauson and Compton. Now, people go to Slauson, they want to see Nipsey's mural and all of that. Like, you go there and you go about your business.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't go driving around. Like, I never, I've been to Compton, I've been to Slauson, I've been to all of them places, but I never was on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang around here all day.
I don't even have nobody to even hang with over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Chances are, if I'm going over there, it's because somebody done came into town. Hey, can you take me to see Nipsey mural?
Yeah.
And then we go over there.
Yeah.
But
stay a tourist.
Yeah, you stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
And you staying in your lane, like it's the robbing and all of that stuff started to get real heavy. Like LA's now it's turned. It's totally different than how it was when I was first there. Because now once they did the the robbery and vandalism and all of that, like you getting arrested and they letting you out same day.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So that's why you see all of these high people just in broad daylight up with the pistol, like, give me your jewelry.
Yeah.
Nothing can happen to them.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's a petty crime.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that part was just like, you definitely uneasy. I don't want to, I'm going certain places. I may not wear my watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not no flashy person like that anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But don't be out there, trying to do the most.
Nah, you doing the most, and most people are tourists. They gonna go to Melrose. They're definitely gonna break into your car.
Yeah.
Because they're watching you. You getting out, oh, you got a whole bunch of jewelry on. Bet they watching you. There's people that'll sit right across the street. You thinking they just regular civilians, and they stick up kids. As soon as you go to the car, let me get that.
Yeah.
And you in broad daylight. Here you go.
Yeah.
You don't have no choice. You either gonna fight them or lose your life, or you better have insurance on that piece of jewelry.
Over some stuff.
You know what I mean? So
be wise.
Just definitely be mindful. But when you stay in your lane and you are focused on, what you're trying to achieve,
a lot of that energy miss you anyway.
For sure, because you shouldn't be involved. Like, I was never involved in anything where I felt like, ugh.
Yeah, it's about to get.
You know what I mean? Because I'm protecting. Like, if anything, when I was in LA, the time that I was there, and to this day, I'm protecting my energy. If I feel like anything's off, I'm not going.
Yeah.
If I feel like, because I'm older now, I got to come home to my family.
Right.
That's the only thing that matters with anything that was going on. Like, my family's at the crib, so I'm not doing that.
No, that's dope. Last question from me. What about the weather?
Man, that's what you pay for.
You pay for that.
You
it's
pay,
beautiful,
man. It's just like I said. Like when
picturesque.
When you get off the plane, it's just man. It's just no place like LA. And I've been around the world. You know what I mean? Like, I've been to New York, I've been in Atlanta, I've been to the bigger cities, and nothing moves me like LA to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different place. And, I call it, the the land of opportunity
Yeah.
because it changed my life. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't for me taking that leap of faith and going to LA, ain't no telling what I'd be doing right now, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I was just talking to my buddies. I'm like, man, you know, they was teasing me. Like, I'm like, man, me actually moving to LA was the best thing for me
Yeah.
and my team, my people around me, because it's like the knowledge that I have, I'm not hoarding that. So it's like the stuff that I did learn from LA, cool. Let me bring that type of sauce back to the Midwest.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that they doing over here. This is how you move when you, like, it's just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in having that, you know, over a decade of being there, like, it's the best decision that I've made besides getting LASIK surgery.
Okay, we won't go into that. But what other question? What other question? So how are the avocado popsicle creams?
I never had that. Never.
How's the food in LA?
The food is fire.
Food is amazing.
Because there's so many options. You know what I mean? Like,
so
if
many
you're
different
vegan,
cultures.
Yeah, so if you're vegan, if you like Mediterranean, if you like Thai, like, it's just, you know, when you go certain places, like, man, if I'm a vegan and you're in the Midwest,
Yeah.
it's like a couple places that you can, you know, you can go, but you go and put in Yelp is vegan central.
Vegan Central. Yeah, everything. They got vegan McDonald's out
But
there.
LA, man, it's just, it's a
I
lot.
don't know if that's true, actually.
It's a lovely place. Like, I love LA.
Yeah.
And, you know, it holds a special part. I mean, that's where all my kids was born. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got California babies.
Wow, that's crazy. I never thought about that.
I know, it's nuts. So, you know, I just, for me, I would just tell people to definitely tap into your resource and don't go out there blindly, especially right now. It's just not a time for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you got a bag saved up and you can afford to do that, then do it.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got no money and you trying to figure it out, just take trips there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Test
spend a week out there, use that money that you do have, spend a week out there and have stuff lined up.
Yeah.
So when you go out there, because when you go out there and you don't have nothing lined up, all right, bet I'm gonna go hit the dispensary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Fairfax. I'm gonna go to Melrose.
Yeah.
Now you just wasting time because
time.
you are
Just consuming.
you're consuming it because it can do that.
Yeah.
If you don't have no plan, you can go out there and kick it. You
Yeah.
can kick it every day, and that's what most people are doing. Are kicking it
Pure
because they don't have
amusement
nothing to
park.
worry about, and they
Whole
don't.
city.
People, Californians, they don't have no type of desire to go nowhere else. Imagine being from California.
Right.
Where I want to go.
Right.
LA's on people's bucket list.
Yep.
There's
Around
people that
the
haven't
world.
even been to LA.
Around the world.
Around the
bucket
world.
list. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's just,
Not even
why
just an
am
American
I,
thing.
you know, and I see a lot of people that are from California that are complacent.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do that because it's like, shoot, I got I ain't got no money, but I can go sit on this beach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people watch.
Yeah.
People watch for free.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
See God's beautiful creation. Well, that's dope, man. I mean, I'm proud of you for the moves you make. I think is, being close to you and being a friend of yours, I think it's influenced me. I've been out there a lot of times and we kicked it and done a lot of stuff. And, what's that place I like? Robex. Love
Fire.
that place. So I've definitely had some good experience. So I appreciate you for making that leap and making that jump and going outside of yourself, betting on yourself, because I agree with you. I think not only was it the best thing for you, but I think a lot of people around you, we all want to do a little more, want to stretch ourselves a little bit more. A lot of your friend circle would have never went out there
For sure.
had you not made that leap. So kudos to you for leading in that way, pioneering.
For sure.
And so if y'all want to go out to LA, man, it's a beautiful place. You'll have some amazing experiences.
For sure.
But just
you got some Airbnbs you need to stay at.
Yeah, you still got the Airbnbs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got
No cars. The cars are in Charlotte now, but
the cars are here.
yeah.
But that's
no cars, but we can make that work too if you need a car while you're in LA.
yeah. So it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
it?
brother.
to live and
Die in LA.
experience in LA. It's the place to be.
Yeah, I should have said die. Tupac lyric.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. Until next time, this is a big one. This was a long one. We went overtime for y'all, man. The life and times. What we gonna call this? The life and times of Steve in LA.
No, I don't know about that.
Five things to think about before you ever visit LA.
Before you move to LA.
Before you move to LA,
Yeah, I
and
like that.
great stories along the way.
For sure.
All right. Until next time, y'all. It's your boy StephenMotivate. Steve James. Stay motivated. Peace.
I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.